It's a great day. My name is Che Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the number one business development and revenue focused late night show in the country where we are on a mission. And our mission really is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission at the end of the day is to provide you, that's right, you, the hard-working entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. In this episode, we have the one and only Eric Hylick. He's in the building, and he'll be talking about really how to use media, how to build your business, and how to get the attention you really need. This is going to be a pretty cool conversation. What's going on, Eric? How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, Shay. It's been a great day every day. I'm alive and well, and I'm doing what I love. It's not work, it's passion, and I love it.
Well, I'm glad you're in your passion, and thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we wouldn't have a show. So thank you for being here. We promise to make this a good use of your time. Now, before we get started, they'll read your bio. Eric, they'll see how famous you are. But let's just address this. We're talking about how to use story to scale, and really with media, it begs the question, why are entrepreneurs these days, from your view, struggling to use media to advance their brand or their story when they have AI, they can tell them what to do. They have Instagram and social media they can turn on tomorrow. In your opinion, why are businesses still struggling?
You know, sometimes it just might not know that they can be on different forms of media. A lot of times we all have a story. Matter of fact, everybody has a story. And to get that story out that can affect others is the way we go. Now, a lot of times we say, well, we can do it on social media, we can do it that way. But you can also get it even on a larger scale on television and different platforms. So there's more than just social media. So there's actually television.
What do you say to the person that's listening saying, okay, there's actually television. I understand some things, but what's the difference between, in your view of the world, between television, you use the word streaming, or being on social media? What's the difference between those three from your view?
Well, streaming TV is where everything is going now. You have normally what we grew up on, cable vision or cable television. They're all trying to get the streaming TV. Streaming TV is where you can go, where you can get your story told, and it be told professionally, and it be told all over the world. We're talking about billions, not just millions. With streaming TV, it's on multiple platforms. Of course, you're familiar with Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Google TV, Android and Android devices, Samsung. So every television out there that you have, you can get your story told. But also, not only just on television, but on your devices, your smartphones. And so smartphones are everywhere in the world, multiple languages. So that's the way to go. That's the technology that is now more affordable than ever. Before, you would think, oh, I got to spend millions of dollars or at least hundreds of thousands of dollars to get a commercial, to get my brand out there, to get my story told. But that's not the case now.
Well, we're going to get into his story in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get into his backstory and what he's doing to make a difference for entrepreneurs today. But for the person that's listening, this is, hey, Eric, I just got a simple question. How can an entrepreneur use media today to build trust and authority if they don't already have an audience? What would you recommend to that person that's looking right now? Says, well, I don't have an audience. I ain't got no big following. I don't have a big database. What's one or two or three things that I can do to use media so I can build trust and become an authority at what I do? What would you say to them?
Well, that's part of what we do at Build Network Television. We not only are a streaming television network and a production company, but we help small businesses get big business exposure. So we first of all help you with the simple things of your brand, the branding that actually reflects who you are. And then also we work on the story that you want to get out there, or your products and services that can help individuals or even a group of people or the world. And sometimes we have the best tools and strategies, or we have the best products, but we just don't know how to get it known. But that's where it comes in. You use the branding and you build that brand so that everyone can resonate with your brand and your storyteller, your story.
Well, that's a good segue then. You talked about your story. Folks saying, somebody as famous as you are, Eric, and he has his wife, by the way, who's amazing as well. But as famous as you are, Eric, to some folks that meet you for the very first time. Someone right now is riding down the road to listen to this podcast. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Someone else might be in the kitchen, depending on what time it is right now, maybe fixing dinner. Or another individual is like, you know what, you're just playing the background, Shay. Hey, we're on your screen. Thanks for listening to us while you're doing whatever you're doing right now. But you don't know Eric's backstory. So I'm going to ask Eric if he'll slow down for a minute. He talked about your story. Tell him, who are you, Eric? And what's the backstory that led you to doing what you're doing now?
So my backstory starts a while back, probably like in 2016 or a little earlier. My wife and I, we were part of ministry, and we were doing teaching relationship classes, like premarital classes, and we really enjoyed doing that. And then we were approached by a business consultant, say, "Hey, you need to write your first book because you guys you look so great together. You have so many tools and strategies." So we, decided to write our first book, Marriage Can Win. And with that, you know, it turned into, well, we're getting certified to teach, train, and facilitate relationships and marriage seminars and webinars and even retreats. And so that turned into, well, okay, we're starting to hear the testimonies of couples and individuals who are getting ready to look to be married. And they were like, those testimonies were coming back, and we saw, wow, this is a good thing. We're actually making an impact to society when it comes to relationships. We wanted to decrease those statistics of divorce, or even if you're in a relationship and you're not happy, because typically, there's three biggest issues that causes those relationships to fail: communication, finance, and sex. So we started there, and then it grew. We started podcasts, and then we did a radio show. Then we got approached to do television. And so we did. And so when we did, we said, let's take this to the next level, because we're doing business together. Let's interview couples that are in business together. And that's where it birthed into a television show, which was Becoming a Millionaire Power Couple, where we interview couples that are entrepreneurs, and we focus on a strong marriage or relationship, which leads to a successful business and generational wealth. And by all means, it was so much fun, but it got recognized where it won awards, the Communicator Award of Distinction for season 1 and season 2. So we said, well, we need to be able to have others do the same. Tell your story, your products, amen. So we started our own network, and we put the products and services together to offer others affordable prices to be able to do the same thing, have their own TV shows, their own commercials, that they can get this big business exposure, not only in your local area, but you can take it worldwide in multiple languages. So this is something that we always enjoyed, helping people, and not only just helping people, but teaching and changing the way people look at television, and actually not television, streaming television.
And as you started building your own network, thanks a lot for sharing the backstory. Congratulations to both you and your wife and where you are now. For the person that's listening, saying, okay, I like what I'm hearing, Shay. What's 1, 2, or 3 things that Eric would recommend that I should do to prepare myself to be on like a BTV, right? Is that right?
BNTV, Build Network Television.
BNTV. BNTV. What's 1 or 2, 3 things that they should do to get ready to be on a network like that?
Well, first of all, come up with your products and your services. What is it that you're trying to provide? Okay, write it down. Write down your products. Write down your services that you want to provide. Think of your brand. Think of of what is it you're trying to accomplish, your mission and your goals. So those are the first thing. And if you want, it depends. If you want to, you have a business and you want the greater exposure, then that's what we will help you to do. Now, if it's something like a TV show or a TV series that you want to tell stories, and maybe a sitcom or comedy show or a drama series, then that's something where you're going to want to create your own entity and look at trademarking, the titles and such. So those are like the beginning stages.
And one of the things that I admire that you're able to do is you're able to work with entrepreneurs to help them get ready. We're going to talk a little more about your network, but just in general, the person says, okay, I'm hearing him. I like what I'm hearing. Media is something I can't avoid, right? So I've got to do something. I guess my next question would be, when they're looking at different networks, and we're going to talk about your network specifically as well in a moment, what's 1, 2, or 3 things they should look at when they're looking to work with a network like yours in order to be on your network? So what I mean by that is, they can pick A, they can pick B, they can pick 3, they can pick C. What's a checklist that they should look at before signing up with a network? Any recommendations you have?
Well, first of all, I mean, there are, streaming television is now becoming very popular. But what's going to make a difference, the BNTV difference, is that we're not only just entertainment. So most networks, they spend millions and millions of dollars for entertainment. But with BNTV, Build Network Television, it's about not only entertainment, but it's about empowerment. So you're going to get empowered, you're going to be inspired, and we're going to also teach and train to create legacy. It's all about empowerment, inspiring, and creating legacy. So this is a network where you will actually gain more than just entertainment. But that's when you want to look at a network that is going to be with you for the long term, not just a short term, long term. And it's going to establish a rapport and help you, because when you're successful, we're successful. We've accomplished the building an empowerment piece. And if we can't, if we're not building you up and empowering you to be successful, then we're not doing what our mission states.
I love it. Good advice, by the way. And folks that are listening, it's a good segue to a segment we have here, by the way, Eric, called Today is My January 1st. Now, so far, his whole life has been perfect, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if there's ever been any setbacks here in a moment. But for those folks who tune in every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you know what we're about to do. You can go ahead and say those magical words. Today is my January 1st. Happy New Year to you, by the way. It might be that time, depending on when you're watching this. And for everyone else out there who's watching and hearing it for the very first time, today is my January 1st is our personal mantra here at the Happy Entrepreneur Show. It represents a fresh start. It represents a do-over. It means our past, no matter how dark and gloomy that past is, or how bright and sunny that past is, the past really no longer equals the future. And so my question for Eric on the other side is really twofold. Number one, when you hear those words, today is my January 1st, what goes through your mind? And number two, when was the time maybe in your business or in your journey of life that there was a challenge, there was a setback, and how were you able to bounce back from it?
Well, number one, that January 1st for me, I'll say that first and then I'll go backwards. It came at a time where I had the vision, I wrote it down and I made it plain, but I was hesitant. I let fear set in and say, man, I really would love to own my own network to be able to help the millions. But I was like, but I don't know. It takes a lot of money. And then when you talk with others and you hear what they say, and you hear everything that's negative and nothing that's empowering or inspiring. And so, at one point I say, you know what? Okay, this is the time. I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to just hesitate or delay any longer. So that January 1st was actually January the 1st, and actually it was January the 5th of 2025 when I wrote those articles of incorporations and filed that. That was when I decided it was going to be my new January the 1st, which is actually on the 5th. But that was the day, and I made that decision, and I was gung-ho. And I was like, when I changed my title on LinkedIn and it said founder and CEO. It let the world know that I made a change, I made a decision, and I'm all in. I'm not just half stepping in. No, I'm gonna do this while I do this. No, I'm all in as an entrepreneur who is all about passion, who's all about really going to put all the effort towards his goals and his missions. That's when my January 1st. So when you think about it, you're probably doing the same thing out there. You're like, man, I want to start my business, or I want to take my business to the next level. So, what do I need to do? Well, number one is make the decision and stick with it. Be 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 certain, and be, how do you say it? Hit the submit button. And once you hit the submit button, you can't take it back. So you hit the submit button and you just move forward, all in. Do the first thing. You never find out. Someone told me, I heard this, that you never know if you'll be successful if you never try, if you never take the first step. You can always be like, man, I wonder if I was going to be successful. I wonder if my business is going to take off. I wonder if I could have been a millionaire. But if you never take those first steps, if you never take that idea that you've been sitting on for a long time and say, I'm going to go ahead and do it, instead of procrastinating and letting others kill your dreams, you never know if you'll never get started to go forward. So yes, your January 1st should be the same as mine. You got to just say, look, I'm all in. I'm going forward.
I'm all in. I'm going for it. I love it. I love the energy. And for the person who's listening and saying, I love it, Shay, but I have a challenge. And the challenge I have is being consistent. Now, I know it doesn't have to do with the media side, but you probably heard that consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with? A lot of people struggle with consistency, right? I mean, we know that January 18th is National Ditch Your Resolution Day, right? So people don't remember what they set back on December 31st. So my question to you really directly is, what's one idea you have for an entrepreneur just to be consistent, to stay the course? Any one or two suggestions you have?
Other than being consistent, I look back and I used to wonder, I'm like, man, how do people become very successful? I look at the lives of some very popular, famous, successful people. Let's take some business owners. I mean, in my time, it was Bill Gates. And you look at Michael Jordan's, or better than that, look at Serena Williams, look at Coco Gauff, the tennis players, right? And so this is not a team sport. This is an individual sport. But they have been at it for a long time, and you never knew about them, but they were so consistent. They didn't always come in first place. They didn't always come in second place. They didn't always come in third place, but they were being consistent. They were just pushing forward, making a little bit of progress each day. And now they are in household names today. Coco Gauff is a household name today. But, I didn't hear, if you think about it, you didn't hear about her. She wasn't very popular, a couple of years ago. But she was there. She was working hard and she was being persistent. She had a passion, and, she had to keep going and had to just keep her dream and her aspiration. She had to see the end goal, the way she wanted to reach, and she had to keep going. Now she is popular, famous. She's winning, and she's consistent. And so you think of that. Well, she had to start somewhere. And that somewhere probably was where, really nowhere in our eyes, we never knew who she was. But now everyone knows who she is. But she had to start somewhere. And it reminds me of Tiger Woods. I've seen pictures of him when he was a little boy, and his father was, he was probably, I don't know how, it was a very young guy, young boy, and he was swinging a golf club. And when he hit the ball, sometimes he'd miss it. And you never think that this guy would be a world champion, that really changed the whole game of golf. The way you look at it, it made golf popular, not only to the United States, but the world. People would watch golf just because of him. But when he was a little child and his father put a golf club in his hand and he was trying to swing correctly, you know, if he would have said, no, I can't do this and stop right there, he wouldn't be where he is today. He changed the way golf is today. So I say, if you have a passion, if you have a goal, and you always wanted to accomplish it, first of all, you got to start and commit all in. Then you have to continue to, as they say, enhance your craft, practice, continue to work hard towards it, and learn the failures that you've made so you don't make those failures, but keep going forward. Keep going forward because you're going to make progress and celebrate um, those small victories. It's not always you're going to hit it out of the park every time, but you're going to get the first base. Celebrate that first base because you've gone further than you've ever gone before. So that's my advice to you.
Good advice, by the way. And I always like to ask this question. We have a few minutes. We have a few minutes now. So you gave such good advice. What's one of the best pieces of advice you've ever been given from any of your mentors along this journey of life that you would want to pass on to anyone that's watching? I love the framing for the audience so they're fully aware that you've read more books than you could probably remember these days, although you remember a lot of them, it seems like. You've watched more videos. I don't even count the number of hours anymore. I used to count hours of videos. It's just not even worth doing that anymore. Even 10,000 hours is a joke these days. You can do that on your thumb just on the weekend. So my question really is, what's one of the best pieces of advice you've been given from any of your mentors that you like to pass along to us in the audience?
It's kind of funny because it's a gentleman that I know who was a business consultant, and he's a very wise guy from my perspective. He once told me, hey, you know what? You're an author and you guys are coaching. You know what you should do? You should get a podcast. And he had told me that, and he told my wife that. And I said, yeah. And then it come around again. He said, did you start your podcast? I said, well, how do we do that? He said, look, go to Spotify and start it. It's for free. And get going. Get you a mic and get you, and write you a little script and opening and just get going. And that was really the best advice because it got us into speaking together and doing shows together, doing podcasts together. And so we started doing the audio podcast. And then we were also given advice to use cameras and because we were just using our computer and we didn't have mics and everything. And he gave us advice on some cameras to use and some mics to become even more professional, even better. So we progressed. We went from doing the audio podcast to the video podcast, and that really started our journey. And that gentleman's name is Shay Brown. And I remember that Shay Brown, I'm telling you guys, Shay Brown gave us one of the best advice in our progression of where we are today. And I thank Mr. Shay Brown for that advice.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And you guys are fortunate because you guys have one heck of an incredible show. You have a incredible network, as humbled as you are. And you and your wife are making a big difference in the world. So congratulations to you. As we come down the home stretch, I do have a question. The network that you have, someone out there might be saying, I'm interested. What makes Eric's network different than other podcasts or other networks that are out there that want to tell my story? It's an unfair question, ladies and gentlemen, but I think it's a reasonable question at a reasonable time. So if you had a minute or two to say, you know what, here's what makes our organization unique and different, whatever it is, what would you say to the person that's watching right now?
Well, Build Network Television is where purpose meets opportunity. You have a purpose, and we give you the opportunity to fulfill your purpose. So we provide you with the small business consulting. We also have training programs where we have Build Him training programs for identity and business, her, couples, and families. But we also provide the internal production company. So we can also produce not only for your podcast, for your commercials, but television shows. We're working on drama shows right now. We have producers from Hollywood that are working on these series. So we have all the tools and the strategies and the resources to help you. So we have the resources, and you bring the source because you're the source. So, here's the thing: we're not just, like again I said earlier, we're not just producing entertainment. We're producing purpose content that's going to change, that's going to produce empowerment and legacy, because we're all about legacy building. So if you found your purpose, here's the opportunity to create your legacy. And that's what Build Network Television is about: building, not tearing down, building legacy, building purpose. And here's your opportunity to build your purpose.
Yes, your opportunity. We're going to tell you how they can connect with you in a moment. But what do you do for fun when you're not out saving the world? We're not out recording stories. You're not helping entrepreneurs build their business and share their message with the world. What do you do for fun these days, man? What does that look like?
Like I said, really, I love creating and doing our TV shows like Becoming the Millionaire Power Couple. We also have the Build Room. To me, that's fun. Other people say, oh man, that's work. Being a CEO or running your company, that's really fun. But other than that, let's take that aside. I enjoy spending time with my family. We like to go out with fine dining. We like to go to the games, the sports games. I just most recently saw my first hockey game in real life. Because normally you can see it on television, but it's a whole different, game when you see it in purpose. But I love to go out to sports events. I love to go out to see to movies. I love to get out and about and spend time with my wife and spend time with my family. So really, that's just getting out and about and doing things that you've never done before. Going out to here in Orlando, the theme parks. I've been here for I don't know how many years and never been to SeaWorld. And during the holidays, we got a chance to go to SeaWorld. So, I mean, do things that you've never done before. And that's what I enjoy, just getting out, enjoying the family, doing things that are fun, golfing, going, putt-putt golfing, bowling, just getting out and being active. So that's what I love to do.
Congratulations. Sounds like a lot of fun. A good family man. Indeed. So come down the home stretch. Two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm looking to work with these days, if any? And number two, how can folks best connect? Like, hey, I like what I hear, Shay. I want to stay in the conversation. What website should they go to? What should they do if they have the interest in taking that next step with you?
Well, the client that we're looking for is one that really wants to make a change. They want to go to the next level, and they're serious. We don't want that iffy client. We don't want that client that wants to come and just learn so they can take it somewhere else. We want someone who's going to establish a rapport with us. Once we have a rapport with you, we're looking for a long-term client, one that we can help you immediately establish your brand and get you going, but also take you through to see your business or see your brand grow and grow and grow for the long term. So that's when we're looking for that client that wants a long-term relationship with us. But to work with us, you can go to buildnetwork.info. That's our website that gives you all the information about the company, all our new up and coming shows, talks a little bit about our film festival. I forgot to even mention, right now we have the Build International Film Festival. We're getting submissions from all over the world. We're getting from Brazil, United Kingdom, oh man, so many different countries right now. But if you are a creator and you want to get your exposure and you figure, man, how do I get that? Well, you can also submit to our International Film Festival, where you're going to get the exposure. We're coming up where I think it's in April is when we have the final screenings. And with the award winners, you also get a year of distribution on the Build Network television. And then, so we're also in conjunction with the Orlando Urban Film Festival and also the Jacksonville Film Festival. So you're getting an opportunity to be on multiple platforms, multiple exposure, not only in your region, but in the world. But yeah, that's the way to start is go to Build Network, buildnetwork.info, and go to the want to be a guest or connect with us and fill out the information. And once we get it, we'll contact you. Make sure you enter your phone number, email address, and we'll be in contact. We can get you started. But do the research. We're on multiple platforms. Just search Build Network. Go to Roku and search, add a channel, Build Network, or Apple TV. Go to the App Store, whether it's on your phone, your television, or your iPad, and search Build Network. And you could do web TV, Build Network. Research the network so you can have when we do speak with you, we can answer all of your questions and get you started. Because we want you to build without breaking. Because sometimes we get so caught up in building something and making something successful, we break things. We break our relationships, we break our health, and we don't want to do that. So we want to help you to build without breaking. But that's how you can connect with us. But we are on all social media. So you can also contact us Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn.
Well, let me say two things. Number one, thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We appreciate it. I believe this is your third time, maybe fourth time if you're with your wife, but at least your third time solo on the show. So thanks so much, man. Can't wait to have you back.
Well, thank you so much, Shay, for having me on here. It's always great to get on with you and just be a part of your greatness. So thank you again, Shay.
Thank you. And thank you to viewers. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, because without you, well, we don't have a show, by the way. We just don't have a show. So thanks for showing up. Thanks for being part of this. I never get tired of reminding you every night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. No matter what's going on in your life, by the way, whether you're doing really well and you're going to that next level of success, or you've been hit with the punch that you never saw coming. The one thing I do believe is that today is your January 1st. And because of just that one reason alone, I believe your best is still yet to come. Your best is yet to come. Your best is yet to come. That being said, my name is Shay Brown. I'm out. Peace. Keep doing God's work. We'll see y'all on the other side. Bye-bye for now.